Hi, today I'm going to be making a button clicker game. You know, something like your normal cookie clicker. So it's basically just a game where you click a button and some stuff happens. Kind of spoils it in the title of the game. I start by just trying to map out where I want the UI to sit. And then I thought to myself, what might a button clicker game need? Oh yeah, that's right, a button. So my next move was to start drawing out the button, because I kind of, want to do the art before I make the code for some reason. And you might think that a button won't take that much time to make, right? It's a quite simple shape. Well, it took me 1 hour to make this right. After getting to a point where I'm pretty happy with the design of the button, I thought it might be good to start actually coding something. So I made an animation for the button, but when I put it into the project and tried to make the button animate, let's say I ran into a little bit of a bug. After, well, fixing might not be the right word, but kind of correcting the problem, I finally got started to make the gameplay for the game. I made the money counter go up as I was clicking the button. Then I tried making something for the button to sit on, but the first one didn't look very good. So I made a second one, which I think looks a bit better. You might know that in a lot of clicker games you can go quite high, like to 1 million, 1 billion and so on. So here I'm trying to make a system where when you go up to a certain number, it goes down to 1. So if you go up to 1 million, it will go down to 1. And as I'm very good at coding, I obviously didn't run into any problems. Yeah, no, I absolutely nailed it on the first try, for sure. And because I didn't solve it, I thought, let's just move on and leave that up to future me to solve. Yeah, it's not my problem. Okay, maybe it's time for me to explain a bit how the game will work. So basically you press the button, as you know, and you add money. But when you have a certain amount of money, you can also buy buildings. In the first case it's tents, as you might see in the background. Then it's smaller buildings, and then there are bigger buildings, and yeah, you get it. Basically it goes up as you pay more. Also, the more expensive building you buy, the more you get every time you click the button. After getting the tent to work as it should, I started to work on the second building, the small house. Here I've gotten more of the look of the game down, as I have designed the coin for the money counter, as well as the little icons for buying tents and buying small houses. Also the lock for showing that you can't buy it. Now I also added million, billion and trillion. So it's a lot easier to see how much money you actually have. And after that I designed all the rest of the buildings, and to make all of those work I have a very nicely organized code with absolutely not too much copy and paste. And then of course I made everything work flawlessly. No problems to be seen. Then I actually got everything working, so that everything is working individually, and yeah, the game is basically playable now. What I almost forgot to add was the save system. I thought it's kind of bad if you exit the game, come back, and then all your progress is gone. So yeah, I thought I needed to add that. At first, just the money count and the tent price was remembered. But I had to make all of the other variables also be remembered, which took a pretty good amount of time. The last thing I did for the game was make a soundtrack in the background, so yeah, well, you get to listen to it now. game, which I'm calling Bottom City. The game will hopefully be out on Steam for free pretty soon if you want to try it. If you like this content, please consider subscribing to see more like it.